Hey, everybody, you're going to want to listen all the way through this episode because we are talking about the slap heard round the world. Why? Why are we still talking about it? The slapper. That's why. He's talking about it, singing about it, rapping about it too.
You're also going to find out how an amazing female basketball coach from the world of college basketball could be the head coach of your New York Knicks. All the details coming up soon. Enjoy the show.
Hey, how are you? Let's try something new, straightforward.
I like it. Yeah.
Well,
I know
thank you very
by the
much.
time this airs, we will have passed our country's birthday.
Yes.
But I think it bears a mention anyway. Happy 158th birthday to our country of Canada.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, and I think the day that this actually drops, it will be the birthday of our friends to the south. Their July 4th magic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very exciting. That's such a great signal of summertime for me. Certainly. I think taking days off around this time helps make it feel a lot more summer vacation-y.
Hmm.
But the fact that we've got Canada Day on July 1st and then July 4th being the big celebration in the US and all kinds of other days happen all around the world. So
Yeah.
you're celebrating. Thanks for cheersing us.
Yeah, we're big in Brazil also.
Thanks for cheersing us and choosing us.
Yeah.
I wish I'd known about the Brazil part ahead of time. I would have learned something, catchy.
Yeah.
To
That's
say catchy, not to spread catchy.
yeah, I like
Different
it.
things.
I like it.
Okay.
That's fair.
Well, topic-wise, we've got how Beyonce went a bit sideways
Yeah.
recently.
Legit sideways.
Legit sideways. We're going to spend some time in the paint, tossing buckets or talking about it's a basketball story. I'm trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Got Kelly's trivia that will challenge us in all the right/painful ways.
Yeah.
Your 90s Rewind is celebrating 30 years. So we'll go back to around this time 30 years ago. I react the same way every time I come up with a hardcore number about that reference, but it's kind of bonkers that 1995 was 30 years ago.
Crazy.
And Will Smith has brought more attention to the slap heard round the world. So let's start there.
Yeah.
I thought this was a bit, and totally correct me if my perception of this story is wrong, because I thought the vibe that I got was like, okay, well, maybe he thinks the statute of limitations is up now and he can just share his real feelings. But like, I don't know about that because he was on was it a podcast or an interview show where he freestyle rapped about the slap.
Yeah.
So it was a slap rap.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you been waiting all day to say that?
Well, at least a minute.
Yeah.
But if I may quote, and I will not rap it, but if I may, in his freestyle, he says, "Now I'm not the type of man to move in malicious ways, and I am too grown to play childish games. But if you talking crazy out your face up on the stage and disrespect me on the stage, expect me on the stage. Jokers dish it out, cry foul when it's time to take it. A city full of real ones wasn't raised to fake it."
Yeah.
So does he think that he got in trouble or all the stuff that happened after the slap was because what? You're not supposed to slap people.
Yeah.
Just like that. And it would have been one thing had it been at a party or at a private show, something that wasn't televised for all of us to see. We saw Chris Rock say what he said about Jada.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what comedians do. And some jokes are taken personally. I don't think that Chris Rock was aiming to make it personal, maybe if he known that Jada Pinkett Smith had an issue and a sensitivity with that issue to her hair, and the reason why she keeps it so bald or so short, then he would be a jerk if he did it. But it's still comedy, and I'm not saying it's okay. but somehow the slap was worse than the joke.
Well, I'm a bit like incredulous that he would be rapping about this at all ever in life.
Yeah.
Because like to me, because especially he did some version of an apology tour, right? Like after it happened.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if we're vying for some street cred here. I'm not sure what's going on, but like if it was me, like I would never
Yeah.
bring it up again ever in life. Like after making the apology and just leave it where it lies because like he doesn't look, in my opinion, cool in bringing this back up in such a flippant way only 3 years after it happened.
Well, it's like the feeling I'm getting is like he feels like he didn't do anything wrong, doesn't know why he was punished. And part of, I believe this is a song, took a lot, I'm back on top. Y'all gonna have to get acclimated. He raps in this particular song. Won't stop. My spit's still hot, even though I won't get nominated. Personal life with my wife, mind your business, it's complicated. True.
Yeah,
All of it's, I mean,
yeah,
mind your business is complicated. Yes, a
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But I think the person that made it everybody's business was him
Mm-hmm.
by
Mm-hmm.
reacting to the comedian's ill-intended, dumb, whatever joke.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Rock is a mean person. I don't think he's a mean comedian either. So the person that exacerbated this whole situation was Will Smith himself. And now he's crying foul, like it's been done to him.
It
He
just
also did it on a show that, because he did it on television and he assaulted someone, you're legally not allowed to do that. So the show had to take some action. And I think there's a level of confidence when you start questioning why or why not you would be nominated for something. Now, aside from that, I remember years ago, Jim Carrey, when he was um, going a more serious route when it came to his acting choices and choices of roles rather, he was somewhat outspoken about thinking he should have gotten nominated. Now, I don't think he just grabbed someone's mic and said, "Here's what I think." I think somebody asked him and he answered the question.
mhm.
But even that, the art is the art and do the work. Do you know? Like, I
Mhm.
don't think people should be saying whether or not they feel they should be nominated for an award. You got the job, you did the job, and if people paid to see it, you did the job well. The rewards and the awards are so gravy, I think, that I don't think that you're supposed to talk about that stuff.
It's not a good look.
No,
And this is not a good look for Will Smith. Like because
I agree.
I really don't understand like, and I mean here, well, I will say this, I'm not sure. I think Chris Rock has addressed some of this in his stand-up.
Hmm.
So I don't know if Chris Rock is still addressing this at any point in his stand-up. So I don't know if this is a response on Will's part to Chris Rock still, bandying this about. But if it's
Hmm.
not, if Chris Rock really isn't doing anything about it at this point, then it's even worse that Will is bringing this back up because, like, why would you stir the pot again? Like, I would be doing everything possible to make sure this never came up ever again in life.
Hmm.
Especially being pretty much in the wrong. Like you said, you don't assault somebody at the Academy Awards where there's like a gajillion million people like watching this thing.
Yeah,
So it's just
I'm down with defending your wife's honor too. Like I think that
mm-hmm.
that's important, but I don't know, time and place.
And I just
And
don't
again,
think you should ever be, especially you read the lyrics. Like I don't, it comes off as pompous. And I know
and
that
a bit
rapping it can
cocky.
be that. Like you're supposed to have your confidence and your
Yeah,
bravado and all that, but
sure.
especially knowing that Will Smith is like party rapper, like
Yeah.
it's not like he's Dr. Dre or Eminem. You know what I mean? Like he's not that. He's not Ice Cube. He's not. So it's
Yeah.
also a bit like left of center to see him taking on this bravado thing when he's normally talking about get jiggy with it.
Hmm.
It's just, I don't know, it's weird.
And there's, we're open to different sides of an artist's art. If he wants to be more than someone who gets jiggy with it, great.
Yeah.
But that content, I think, is it's divisive
Yeah.
somewhat, like clearly, because we're talking about it on this side, he's on the other side.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just
It's
think
also
I
too
thought it was a bit
soon.
much.
It's too soon. Like,
Well, that's another version of cockiness as far as I can hear, because he's deciding that, enough is enough and we should move on from it.
yeah. Well, that's and
I don't
then
know.
that also doesn't even make sense because if it is time to move on, why are you rehashing it? Like just keep
Yeah.
doing what you need to do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example, and I'm sure one will come to me, but it's like where there have been artists that have gone through whatever, and they might deal with it once, and then they don't acknowledge it again. Like they move on and like they just keep going. Like, I mean, I'll give you an example now, and it's, unsurprisingly, it's Janet example, but like after the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like I think she did one or two conversations about it, like in an interview format, and
Hmm.
then, and it might have only been one, and then it was like, that's it, like this is it. I'm not talking about this again.
It shouldn't be the thing that defines you,
No, no.
especially if it's so like riddled with opinion.
Yeah. And for sure, this is going to get back to Chris Rock. So then is he going to, again, like, I don't know what Chris Rock is doing right now, but like, will he then feel the need to
Yeah.
respond with his comedy? Like, it's just never ending. And I just feel like, and like the other part of that's weird about this is like, Will apologize to Chris Rock. I don't know that Chris Rock accepted the apology at this point. So
Hmm.
is that another, like, is Will Smith upset about that? So that's why now he's going on this like rampage? Like I don't know.
It's it doesn't seem like it was his best idea,
No.
but it's not surprising at the same time because he is a confident man and confident
Hmm.
guy. He's successful. He's made great decisions when it's come to his career, but he's made some other ones that weren't great,
Yeah.
and he's admitted those.
Yeah. And there's many reasons to love Will Smith, like many
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Um, I this seems a curious decision for his like brand.
Yeah.
Like his
You're right.
brand, he's off brand right now, it feels like.
Yeah. Or unless he's trying to rebrand, but then if you're rebranding, don't talk about the past because
Yeah.
that was your old brand that you destroyed. I
Yeah.
think clearly he's responding to some universal reaction to what uh, the opinion of that situation. And by universal, I mean not one swooping idea that everybody's on one side and he's on the other. I'm just
Hmm.
saying that universally it was seen by millions of people. So that many people have an opinion on it. Some don't. But clearly, the opinions that ended up having him uninvited or not nominated or not hired or whatever,
Hmm.
those are the ones that make the decision for his that section of his livelihood. So I don't know. Do you call them out or do you play the game that's their game? It's
Yeah.
you can you don't have to like it, but it is theirs, and
Yeah.
so you can play or not play. But that's what it is. And then similarly, don't think that you should say that you should get nominated. Still their game.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your performance because your performance is either, whatever level of good to less than good,
Yeah.
and that's yours. You get to control your art, but it's
Yeah.
their game.
Yeah.
That's why independent films happen. That's why,
Hmm.
and it doesn't make them any less quality than the big budget ones, right? Just makes
And
them the budget gets them distributed to a wider audience, but content wise, there's still great art that's not on a level of films like he has made.
and the other
It's
thing
their game.
the other thing too is I'm not sure if he's annoyed. This is again me speculating, but is he annoyed that his album that he dropped, which was his first album I think in 20 years, that he
Hmm.
released in March, I think it was. I believe it's called Based on a True Story. It did not chart in the top 200, and there was no, to my knowledge, there was no single that did anything.
Right.
So is he trying to get some octane? Because he did say, and I don't know where he stands at this point, but I think this album was going to be released in three parts. So is it to try to create some octane around the second release? I don't know. Like this is me
But
speculating at
that
this
I
point.
I bring question to that. I question that too. Like I understand that you want to make an album, and I understand that um, you want to earn from the album, but he's at a level
Hmm.
of success where maybe I don't know, like why are you making the album? Maybe his intentions aren't pure enough, or like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I didn't listen to the album. I listened to one or two tracks. And I again, this is me speculating because I haven't listened to the full thing, but from what I heard, it sounded like he was taking a more serious tone in the two
Hmm.
songs that I heard, which coming off, what happened in 2022, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Um, I guess maybe he had no other choice but to be serious, and I think he himself needed to be serious because he's done some reflecting over everything. But that also, a lot of your fans, if they know you as party rapper, the
Hmm.
serious might not work for them. So maybe you're not having traction with your fans because they don't want that from you. I don't know. Again, this is us
And
analyzing.
exactly. That could be something that's separate from everything. Like you're saying, that could be, hey, we're ready for new music from him. Oh, he's trying something new.
Yeah.
Separate from the fact that, he did something questionable. I would imagine you're fans of someone who makes a decision like that. You're still going to be fans of, there's some level of acceptance, or, you're willing to get over it or whatever.
Hmm.
But then when it comes to being told you better get over it, well, because this is who I am now, and this is, I think that's
Mm,
he might have just made all these decisions bad timing.
yeah.
Maybe if we're looking at the path of how you're supposed to release music and come back from a situation like this, maybe he shouldn't have done something new. Maybe he should have done what he is known for doing, snuck a couple of tracks, maybe just made them fun and zing if he wanted to zing, and then play on that in parts 2 and 3 if it's a three-parter.
Yeah.
No one's hiring us with our great ideas, Kel.
I don't know why yet, because we're really great consultants.
Answers galore. That's our next podcast. Hey, you guys listen to Answers Galore? They've got all the answers. Well, we'll see what happens with that, because I, I it's the again, slap heard round the world. This story's not going
Yeah.
away, mostly because he's not letting
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Kelly, I think after all of that, we are ready to get 1-2 punched by some trivia
Bing bong.
or smack smack.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing in life is once a week I get to say bing bong. So,
Bing
yeah.
bong. I hear you.
Um, Pop culture or art and literature, Sharon, to start?
I will take art and literature,
All right. So, a
please.
group of history students travel to 14th century France to rescue their professor in which science fiction novel by Michael Crichton? So I
You
need
see my
the
look,
title
right?
of
You see how
said
I'm looking right now?
into the ether.
Does it look like I might know the answer?
It looks like you're very much pondering.
Yeah, because I'm an actress now. Um, I don't know.
Okay, great. I know of Michael Crichton. I believe I've even read a couple of his books, but it's called Timeline.
Ooh,
Yeah, would not have got that one.
no, me neither. I didn't. So
Yeah,
it works out.
I think
That
you're gonna get
tracks.
this one though. So this is pop culture. Which
Hmm.
style of dance gained mainstream exposure when featured in a Madonna music video?
Voguing?
Yay, Sharona! Yeah,
Come on, Vogue.
just that last move was
Let your
exactly.
body move to the music. Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, there we go. 1 and 2. I'm fine with that.
By
So
the way,
we've got
I
yes.
appreciated before when you were describing buckets. Shane, Kentucky Shane will love that we have basketball references on the show because he was a basketball coach.
Well, let us not make Kentucky Shane wait any
Yeah.
longer, because the great news from the New York Knicks head office is kind of groundbreaking if it gets to the point where this person, moves on to the next step. But it's Don Staley that's reportedly in the running for head coaching the New York Knicks.
She could do it.
Dawn is a DAWN, by the way. She's a female.
Yeah,
This would be a history making move if they do it as the first female head coach in a major men's professional sports league. This is a conversation starter, Kel.
yeah,
This will be one of those things that some people will say shouldn't happen. She shouldn't. She should stay with the females and she, whatever.
yeah,
Inaccurate. We've seen it happen where the gender lines can get crossed and people can do other jobs.
yeah. Well, if
And
it's
good for
okay,
her.
if it's okay for, like X amount of men to be coaches of women's teams,
How about
like
that?
Gino Auriemma, who is the head coach of Connecticut, the Huskies for the
Hmm.
Yukon, and they've won a gajillion, NCAA championships. Um, why can't Dawn Staley go be the coach of the Knicks? She is a beast. And like this story actually fit in with us very well into our 90s now because, she was in college in the 90s and then went into the WNBA in the 90s and,
Yeah.
was an absolute beast of a player. And then transitioned going to Temple University as a head coach and then transitioning over to North Carolina with the Gamecocks, where she's been, I think, since 2008. I believe she now has two championships, if not three. And she's legit a beast. And so many people, men and women, respect this lady. And if there's any woman who could coach a men's team, I have no doubt she's at the front of the line.
I go back to the team name and think, what exactly is that?
A gamecock?
Yeah.
I believe it's some kind of like, not waterfowl, but like a fowl.
Waterfowl. Well, I've looked it up. A rooster of the domestic chicken trained for fighting.
There we are. They're fighty. They're
Fighty birds.
combative.
Fighty, not flighty.
Yeah.
That's their team slogan.
Yeah.
Gamecocks. Fighty, not flighty. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's got a strong resume. So based if the world were just looking at her resume and
Hmm.
not, her name or her gender or whatever, they would go, "Oh, this person seems qualified. They should get the job."
She's an
She delivers
absolute
clearly.
she's an absolute beast. And I actually just recently, I haven't had a chance to start reading it yet, but and I may have mentioned it on our show. She just released like a new memoir. And
And she's written a book.
yeah,
My gosh.
she is everybody. And I think it was, I'm gonna say allegedly, but I'm almost certain that Beyonce sent her flowers. Like
Wow.
after the last, not this year because they made it to the finals, but they didn't win. But they won last year, and
Wow.
she's just like right now. I don't even have the number in my head how many like members from her team are playing in the WNBA, which is saying something because
Hmm.
there's only X amount of slots. So the fact, and that's another thing, like I know that WNBA really needs to keep expanding because way more women players coming out of college need a place to go.
Yeah.
So like there's just like because like there's so many talented players that don't even get a chance just because there's not enough room on the roster. So that's another story. But anyways, Dawn Staley for president, man. Like she's
Well, let's give her the New York Knicks head coach job
yeah,
before we put her in
she's
office.
beast. And
The
she's
funny
also
thing,
like a massive sneakerhead, by the way.
oh yeah?
Yeah, follow her on Instagram, Sharon. It's at Staley05, I believe
Okay.
is the handle. And I just love her. I love her so much. Yeah.
Um, what was I going to say about her? No, oh, you know what I was going to say? It was funny that, I mean, she's going for this uh, big job. The NBA is bigger than the WNBA for now.
Hmm.
What I love about women's professional sports, whether it's basketball, hockey, whatever, is that for me, it's a focus on it's tactile. There's a finesse to it. It's
Hmm.
less. I find that there's a lot of, pass 3 pointers in male
Yeah.
in the NBA,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure when it was allowed or how long it's been in, but there's a lot more fighting. And I think that, oh gosh, I mean, bump into each other and be a little bit dramatic to draw the foul,
Yeah.
whatever. But the fighting part, I don't like. And I see that that's kind of creeping in lately with the WNBA, and I hope that it stops.
Yeah,
The
there's been
end.
some, well, Caitlin Clark has been like earning her stripes ridiculous. Like there's so much aggression to her. And,
Hmm.
it's funny because when they were in the finals a couple years ago, when she was still in college, and, she played for Iowa, and she went up against the Tigers from LSU, and I'm a big Angel Reese fan. And so, like, I was cheering against her. Um, but, like, the thing that people need to remember is that Caitlin Clark is bringing so many eyes to the WNBA right now.
Yep,
So she is of benefit to every single person that's in that league because she's
for
getting
sure.
eyes on the league, um and she's earned these stripes. Like she has earned it. And so it's not like she's just some finesse player. She's really worked her tail feathers off to get where she is. And even this past season, I think because she got bumped and bruised so much in her rookie season, she hit the gym hard and put on extra pounds of muscle to try to combat the wear and tear that goes on against her. And obviously she's a feisty player too, so if she puts stuff out, then she's got to get it back. But I just think
Yep.
overall, from what I've seen, um, there's a lot of aggression that I think people should take a step back and be like, I don't know, she's bringing eyes to our league, which might mean higher salaries. So
Yeah, true.
like think about that. But yeah, and what's funny is like just last thing on Dawn. Um, I totally think she could handle the Knicks, no question, or any
Of
NBA
course.
team.
Yep.
I know that she's a great teacher for young women to get them prepared for life. So she may not want to leave college ball because she's in a
Mm.
good position to, I think she gets paid something like $18 million. Like I think that was her last contract. Like it's bananas.
Wow.
Because I think she signed for 5 or 6 years, something like that. Like, so excuse my numbers if they're off, but I think if you Google it, it's something around that for X amount of years. Um,
Wow.
and she's worth every penny. And but she may not want to leave because she knows that she makes a difference, getting these young women prepared for the WNBA, but then knowing that they're prepared for life. So
Right.
yeah, I think
I
she's
hadn't
beast.
thought of that.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, because not everybody wants to be in the pros. Because sometimes I've heard comments before from other like coaches that they're like, I don't want to go to the pros because I don't want to babysit entitled
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
And
No shortage
so
of those.
yeah, and I think she knows that like, all these girls that she has signing to her program, they're hungry because it's a massive program to get into because she's built it up. Like when she took over the Gamecocks, I don't remember what their record was, but I don't think it was very good. And so she's managed to completely flip the script and do amazing things. And like I said, I think it's two championships, if not three. And she just may not want because she's king of the castle there. There's no question, or queen of the
She's
castle. So
queen of the castle, Kelly.
yeah, queen. She's queen and king, to be honest. So
She's the castle.
she is the castle. So, and it's funny, like I really do hope to interview her one day. It would be amazing to have her on the show because I followed her
Totally.
since she was in college ball, and I remember being super inspired by her as a young kid. Like I just thought she was beast mode. So,
Well, whatever happens with Dawn Staley, it's great that she's being looked at
hmm
for her talent and for what she brings to the game to the point where, she's being considered for the highest level of that game.
hmm
What is perceived as the highest level of the game, but when you add in, like you did, the life lessons and the preparing and the affecting lives that way, that's impactful also.
that's
So
like you,
she's
life
already she's
coach.
already winning.
Yeah,
So
that's like you, life
what?
coach.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah,
it. Now you
yeah,
talk about Beyonce giving
yep,
her flowers. Beyonce went a bit sideways at her show when she made a big return to it was Houston, right? Her
yep.
hometown.
Energy Stadium.
And it's the Cowboy Carter tour. It's probably not
Yep,
called that. Or is it? Oh good.
yep,
Oh good, I'm right.
yeah,
Um, so what she does is she rides a flying car as one would. And there was a malfunction. So the song that she flies in this car to is 16 carriages, and apparently the there was a malfunction,
hmm.
and it left her dangling in the air.
Did you see the video?
I saw what she posted. I wanted more danger
Yeah.
because when you say dangling in the air, I'm like, I thought she'd be hanging off the car, like literal dangle. Not so much. I guess there was just whatever malfunction she was in the car and it was a bit sideways. She
Yeah.
she seemed pretty she like this is all part of her day.
Yeah. Well, she's
She can
she's
handle
also
it.
beast mode. And I think that like I saw an angle like it definitely was not supposed to be like it was. And obviously
No.
she does have the safety harness on, but she did call for her team to stop the show because she said stop, stop like several times for them to stop it, and then they were able to lower her down to the stage. Because she was fairly high up. Like I don't know if she was 25 feet. I'm not sure, but uh it
Well,
was
yeah.
it was fairly high up, and like it had to be disconcerting to be like sideways in a car that could flip at any time. And again, I know her safety harness was on, but it still could have gone sideways. So, yeah.
How about the fact that, and I think like I've seen Pink many times, and I've seen her fly around stadiums and inside closed arenas many times.
Hmm.
And that's one thing, because if that malfunctions, she's falling herself.
Yeah.
And that would be an issue, obviously. But I'm looking at the image of Beyonce in this car that legit went sideways and she's, at risk. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, if I'm in the audience and there's a flying car over my head,
Yeah.
I'm feeling at risk.
I'm gonna
you know?
move.
Like if Pink fell on my head, I'd be like, hey, everybody catch her, and we'd all catch her.
Yeah.
There's no catching the flying car,
Yeah.
without getting kind of flattened. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's not a real car, obviously, but
Yeah.
enough to, hold a Beyonce up there and you know what I mean? Like, but you're taking out a few people if that thing falls. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What I thought was interesting and typical of a person of Beyonce's stature is that the reel that she posted or the snap or whatever it was, she put the music to a song called "Sittin' Sideways." So it interspersed some images from the moment and beyond. And the song was like a pretty decent hit from 2005. So 20 years later, this guy named Paul Wall and his song Sitting Sideways is getting more attention. So I thought in that she was even probably present going like, hey, well, this happened to me. Let's give some attention to him too,
Yeah.
which is classy.
Beast mode
They're all beasts. Hey,
today. That should be the name of our
Kel?
episode, Beast mode.
Beast most. Beast most. Anyway, okay, we should probably get into your 90s rewind if I'm losing my ability to talk.
Yeah, good idea.
So 1995, 30 years ago.
Crazy.
What? And a couple of water tunes that were in our headphones.
Can
And
I
by
guess
in
one
our
of them?
headphones,
Can I guess one of them?
yes.
Waterfalls.
Yes,
I,
Kelly. You could
but
probably guess the other
I
one
can't
too.
think of the other one though. I look forward to you telling us.
Well, Waterfalls from TLC was one. Um, the other is a four-part harmonizing boy group,
Oh, oh, can I?
Water Runs
I was like,
Dry.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, like,
That
oh
was on the
yeah, boys to men.
as soon as you said the boy group, I was like, oh my God, it's that song. Okay,
Yeah.
good song.
So that's a nice refresher, right? Because it's
Yeah,
summertime and it's nice to think of waterfalls and water, period. So nice. Also 1995, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me from U2 on the soundtrack of Batman.
yeah.
Batman dot dot dot. Was it Batman Forever?
I think it
I
was
don't
Batman
remember.
Forever.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Talk about how would you say a signature song, a song to get the party started. I think for people of a certain age, Celebration from Kool and the Gang is one of them.
Yeah.
I think for the next generation, Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It gets the shoulder shimmy going. People are getting up from their table going, yeah, this is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
And then, the ones that sing with their drink in the air and like, this is how we do it. So Montel Jordan, good for you. Annie Lennox released the album Medusa toward the beginning of 1995.
Hmm.
And the song No More I Love Yous was
Such a great song.
such a great song. Now, that album Medusa was of covers, right? So she redid some Eurythmics tunes as well as The Clash. She did Train in Vain. She did Bob Marley's Waiting in Vain. Um, and the chart topper that is No More I Love Yous was from a UK band who had a UK hit. They're called The Lover Speaks. So Annie Lennox taking it to the top of charts helped them too, which is great.
Yeah.
And one more in our handful of songs because you brought Janet up. I'll throw some Michael on that. And Scream was in the top 10 around this time in 1995. And that is your 90s Rewind.
Thank you, Sharon. Scream, one of the best songs in life ever.
A lot of screaming.
Yeah. I have unsurprisingly a lot of the remixes. So,
Oh, do you?
yeah.
Do you want to talk about them a lot?
I know you don't want to. Sadly, there's no Thunderpuss. But there's some good there's some good I know that your
T-Puss
favorite
knows
song
how to tell.
I know that your favorite song from that time is You Are Not Alone.
Creepy video,
Yeah,
right?
that's your go-to answer all the time.
My God, it's creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
The song is
Uh,
beautiful.
I have to so I know we're wrapping up the show, but you were speaking about Beyonce and 16 Carriages. There's an
Yep.
artist name, I'm not sure what her real name is, but her artist name is Ink, I-N-K.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a songwriter and also an artist. So she helped write 16 Carriages. She
Ooh.
also helped write Kendrick Lamar's Luther with SZA,
Mm.
and
Yep.
the list goes on. So anyways, she's just released a song, and I think an EP is coming, or the EP might be out also, Turquoise Cowboy. And if you have a chance, please check out her Instagram at Spill My Ink, which is such a great handle. And just give her some love because she's extremely talented and is trying to do her artist thing now too. And I actually like, I don't normally say this before we do things, but I have a request out to try to interview her because
Ooh.
like, she's just ridiculously talented as a songwriter. And wait till you hear this song called Turquoise Cowboy. So check it out.
I'm gonna go look for it right after we say goodbye.
As you should. And also, did I tell you that Crystal has a song out called Big Bite? You need to listen to that also.
Did you not cover that?
Well, you and Me is the first single she dropped, and
Oh,
then she's
right.
dropped another one called Big Bite. And honest to God, like it's such a great, it's almost like, you know how Katy Perry has Firework? This is
Yeah.
like the dance version of Firework. It like
Ah,
it's very motivational for you to like go after the things you want in life. So
you've got to.
you've got to, and because that's take a big bite out of life is basically the gist of it. So
Just don't hurt people along the way.
yeah, don't bite people. It's not good.
No, they don't like it. Don't
Yeah.
bite them. Don't slap them.
Yeah. Full circle moment, Sharon.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for playing along with us. We appreciate it. Thanks for finding us wherever it is that you do. Thank you for taking us on a walk, perhaps like our one Prince Kentucky Shane has done. Thank you for listening to 90s Now, still happening.